Hi everyone, today I'm looking at whether or not a $90 phone is actually any good. And here I have the Homtom from China, which I imported. And you'll notice that the specifications are actually pretty incredible for, $90. I was kind of expecting, maybe 8 gig of storage, 16 gig of storage, but no, incredibly, this thing actually has 32 gigs worth of storage, which is as much as my Galaxy S7, and even more incredibly, 3 gig of RAM, and also Android 7.0. So for 90 bucks, you're getting quite a lot for your money. You'll notice that it does have the fingerprint sensor on the back of the phone, which you'll notice works incredibly fast. This phone is actually completely legitimate. Where I've tried fake phones or other such that say, hey, we have 32 gig, and you get the thing and it has like about 4. Why would you pay money for anything else? If you just want a kind of cheap backup phone, this is an amazing phone for the money. Don't get me wrong, you're not really going to play 3D games. Going through some of the benchmarks here. So first off, let's try CPU-Z, just to show that the specifications are actually totally legitimate. So you'll see here, this is running at 720p in terms of the screen, but for the money, what would you expect? The RAM, you'll see, 3 gig of RAM and 25 gig of usable storage. So this thing is totally legitimate. I ran some benchmarks on here previously. So we go into history. You'll see that this is not incredibly fast by any means. Just going through the CPU performance, you'll see you have to go quite far down to get something that this actually compares to. So basically this phone is really slow. In terms of, gaming, it will run games. You can run Minecraft and Asphalt. But again, for 90 bucks, don't expect an awful lot. But it is, legitimately, it does have the RAM and it does have the storage. Going back to the benchmarks, if we go to like the GPU results, you can see here. So yeah, comparing this to basically right down here, you can see the bars, which are quite hard on this. You can see this is about 28,000. This is about as much as a Note 3. So, as I said, don't expect incredible gaming performance. If you just want a very cheap basic smartphone, and I mean smart to do, things like web browsing, maybe a bit of Candy Crush, it's great. Asphalt felt a bit sluggish. You'll see that actually something really low tech like Candy Crush, works really well. You can see the performance is pretty good for that. But anything, say like Minecraft, just to give you an idea of how long this takes to boot up. Play, and let's try just this creative mode here. So you can see, it doesn't take too long to start. And I wouldn't try running this on one of the third-party online servers, because any game that requires, speed and agility and basically moving the screen around, forget it. Because it's just way too slow. So, how well does it play? I mean, yeah, you can get around. Bearing in mind, I have turned the graphics down to basically nothing. Turned all the fancy graphics off. Yeah, I mean, it's alright if you just want to play a quick go. You'll see it is slightly laggy. But yeah, I mean, if you want this as a backup phone or to give to someone who really hasn't really been like one of your parents or an older relative or a younger relative where you don't want to spend a lot of money, or you just want to get someone into smartphones or see how they get on. Yeah, I mean, it works for basically anything that isn't 3D gaming. I don't actually why you need so much storage space, because you can certainly try things out. try that game, see how well it gets on. So navigating in terms of menus, it's usable if you really need that quick fix. Will you enjoy games on this thing? It's a little bit frustrating. Certainly everything feels fluid enough to actually want to use it, but don't forget, this is a $90 smartphone. I think for how much you pay, it's excellent, but obviously don't expect amazing graphics or amazing fluidity, or if you are going to play games, definitely turn down the set, all the graphic settings. And it's okay in terms if you want to be slightly frustrated with your gaming experience, but don't, if you really need to play something, you've got this for a bit. Maybe you're waiting for another smartphone to come along and you just need a quick backup phone just to tide you over. It's fine. This is a 4G phone as well. The audio quality is acceptable. It's not great. Showing you kind of the Wi-Fi performance. If you've had any kind of like cheaper Android kind of devices, say a TV box or something, you'll notice that the Wi-Fi performance tends to be horrific. This only has 2.4 gigahertz. It doesn't have 5. But you'll notice that it's okay. The Wi-Fi is great. Downloading stuff takes a little while because obviously the performance, the CPU performance on this thing isn't the best. But you've got plenty of space. You have, quite good Wi-Fi speed. So it just takes a little longer to do anything. But, for $90, I'm really impressed by this thing. It is dual SIM card. You can put more memory into this. I do find it runs a little bit hot around the fingerprint sensor when you're gaming. Getting the cover off, really prizing this off is pretty difficult. I wouldn't recommend wanting to swap SIM cards. If you're somebody who's constantly swapping SIM cards in and out, this thing is annoying, but it's dual SIM card. Will I recommend this for $90? Definitely. Would I recommend this as your main phone? Definitely not, because it will frustrate you. Trying to do anything more than some very basic tasks. But it's a real phone. All the specifications are real. They haven't faked anything. You'll find that stuff in China tends to be fake, and they lie about the specifications. But I'm surprised. This really does have 32 gig worth of storage. Considering something like the Nvidia Shield only comes with 16 and costs, 3-4 times the amount. I'm quite surprised by this. It really does have Android 7 on board. It's got absolutely everything you kind of expect it to have. And, it's all there. It legitimately is Android 7. You get a lot for your money, and I do recommend this for how much you can pay. Of course, if your budget can stretch a bit more, if it can stretch to say $150, then you'll definitely get better phones out there. But for absolutely rock bottom in terms of what is the least amount of money you can pay for a half decent phone, then this is it. I recommend ordering this directly from Homtom themselves, so that way you are getting a legitimate phone and the best price. But yeah, great phone. Very impressed for the money. As I said, don't expect wow in terms of games, but if you're streaming and you just want to play some very basic stuff, then absolutely go for it.